Hi there, my name is Valen, and this is a grammar lesson on comparative adjectives. So an adjective is a part of speech that describes a noun. For example, tall, old, smart, or something like cold, hot. And a comparative adjective, we use them when we're describing two nouns and we're comparing them. So, for example, let's use an adjective in a sentence. Okay, so Sue is a smart girl. The adjective is smart, and it's describing Sue, the girl. So, this is an adjective. If we wanted to make this a comparative adjective, so Sue is smarter than her brother. We add ER to the end of the adjective to make it comparative. So we're comparing two things. We're comparing Sue's intelligence and her brother's. So that's two people. So smarter. So any adjective that is one syllable, such as smart, old, tall, or cold, we add ER to the end of the adjective, just like we did here. Smart becomes smarter. Okay. So the exception to this rule is if we have a one-syllable adjective that is a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant. So let's just go over some of the examples that I already mentioned. Okay, so here's a few. So tall, smart, cold, and hard. Tall becomes taller, smart becomes smarter, cold becomes colder, and hard becomes harder. Now if it's an adjective that ends with a consonant, vowel, consonant, such as the adjectives big or hot, instead of just adding ER to the end like this, bigger, hotter, that's wrong. We need to double the last consonant to make it correct. So, big becomes bigger, and hot becomes hotter. So the difference, again, with this adjective as opposed to this adjective is the words big and hot end in consonant, vowel, consonant. So B is a consonant, I is a vowel, and G is a consonant. And when an adjective ends with a consonant, vowel, consonant, we need to double the last consonant and then add ER. Okay, so we've talked about adjectives that are one syllable. Now what about two-syllable adjectives? How do we make them comparative? Well, if it's an adjective that ends with a Y, it has its own special rule. So for example, let's use the adjective happy and angry. Okay, so if you want to compare two people's happiness, and you want to say that after they went on the roller coaster, Valen was happier than her sister, or a sentence like that. You want to compare two people's happiness. So what you do is happy, happier, That's how it's pronounced, but when we write it, what you need to do is replace the Y with an I and then add ER. So happy becomes happier. Now let's do the same thing for angry. So it's pronounced angrier, like this. But again, this spelling is not correct. We need to change the Y to an I. So it becomes angrier. So two-syllable adjectives that end with a Y. We need to take the Y out and add, instead of just ER, we need to add IER. Okay, now let's look at some adjectives that are two syllables that don't end with a Y, or three syllables. So adjectives that are two or more syllables that don't end with a Y. And we're going to do two examples. Let's use the adjective honest and difficult. So, with a one-syllable adjective, we added ER. With a two-syllable adjective that ended in Y, such as happy, we took off the Y and added IER. So for a two-syllable adjective like honest, we don't say honester. This is incorrect. We don't say honester in English. What we would say is more honest. So we add nothing to the end of the word, we just add the word more in front. Same with an adjective like difficult. Difficult is a three-syllable adjective, and we don't say difficult-er, we say more difficult. Okay, so let's just do a quick review. If it's a one-syllable adjective, such as, let's say, short, to compare, we add ER. If it's a two-syllable adjective that ends with a Y, such as happy, we take away the Y, and we add IER. And now if it's a two-syllable adjective, like honest, that doesn't end with a Y, or a three-syllable adjective, like the word expensive, we add the word more in front of the adjective. So, more expensive. So I hope this makes comparative adjectives simpler. And there's a test underneath this lesson that you can take to test your knowledge of comparative adjectives. And visit us at www.ingvid.com.